Welcome back. Today I'm going to predict where our remaining free agents could potentially land. But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe. Also, like and comment what you think below about free agency in general, about some of what I said, where you think these players will go, and just how teams are doing free agency in general. Um, the way I'm doing this is we're not going to do a ton of names, maybe do like I don't know, maybe 10 names. But basically Keith Smith on Twitter does has a lot of insight things kind of that go deeper into some of the bigger moves. And he put together his best available free agents. He did this yesterday. I haven't seen a tweet that he did it for today. So like DeAndre Ayton is here. Obviously, he's signed, but it's pretty much like the five best players of each position. Again, we're not going to do all five for every position, but we're going to definitely talk about some of the notable ones. Um, let's start with we'll just start with our point guard. So, Josh Giddey is a restricted free agent. A lot of these restricted guys, some will get into in some other positions. Haven't signed yet. Pretty much none of them have. But I don't think Josh Giddey's gone back to the Bulls, and Josh Giddey had a good season. Josh Giddey always had he's got the cloud following him, and he will for the rest of his career. Um, it doesn't matter what else comes out about that stuff. Obviously, I'm not gonna get into it. It was a horrible thing that he was alleged of doing. If he did it, then it's horrible. Shouldn't mess with him. But from things I've seen, he hasn't. So you know, but what? Anyways, that's not what this is for. Josh Giddey had a very good season. Last year he averaged 14, 8 and 7, 38% from three. He earned the contract he's gonna get. I assume he's gonna get high 20s to low to mid 30s, 3 or 4 year deal. Um, the Bulls just extended Trey Jones. They traded Lonzo for Isaac Okoro. God, they need to get rid of Vucevic, man. If if they to get rid of Vucevic, if they need to package Kobe White, like if the Warriors say I want Vucevic and Kobe White, package them together, but make sure you get something good because you haven't gotten anything for Levine, DeRozan, Caruso, and Lonzo. You got basically nothing that you are proud of. And that's just not great, but hopefully they get something good for Vucevic. But again, Josh Giddey, I predict will be back with the Bulls. Chris Paul, he wants to be at home in LA, near LA, Cali, whatever. Honestly, any of the Cali teams would probably be good for him other than Golden State. Um, just because they have a million guards over there too. But um and the Kings, like it would be a good fit, sort of, because of the people that are over there and they don't have point guards, but like it's Sacramento. You don't want to see Chris Paul in Sacramento. No offense to Sacramento, but fans, but so like LA, either the Clippers or the Lakers. I'd assume it'd be the Lakers because Braun's over there, but who knows? So I'm gonna say an LA team for Chris Paul. He could still be effective. I saw the thing that he wants to start. I don't think there's a single team in the NBA that he will start on. I, I don't. Whether it's a good team, whether you're talking about LA or OKC, Houston, I don't think he's starting on any of those. I don't think he's starting on any of the bad teams like Brooklyn because they just drafted guards. Utah, they have guards. Wizards have guard. Like I literally don't know if there's a single team in the NBA he'll start, and maybe Milwaukee, maybe because they released Dame. So I don't know what he's talking about. Malcolm Brogdon would be a good guard to go to to take like a minimum, probably minimum or like maybe like 5 mil a year for 2 years, like to a New York, a um Where else? Where else would be good for him? Um, Maybe like Atlanta with the things they did because like they've got like Kobe Buffkin and stuff over there, but they don't have necessarily a backup one truly that's like good, great. Yeah, unless again Kobe Buffkin takes that jump. Um, I mean, it could he could go to like a Houston just to be backup, combo guard minutes. Um, Maybe like any of the Texas teams would make sense too. Just a team like that that kind of just needs a little bit more guard play, but it's a good team. Um, Westbrook, I'm really surprised that Denver didn't go back after him. I don't know if that's because now his market is bigger, but he's still here, and we're on day three of free agency, day 3 or 4 of free agency. So I don't know. I mean, Denver, I think would still be good. Don't know how likely that is. Houston, I think would be good. Um, Believe it or not, I think the Lakers would be good. As an energy and kind of defensive guy, I really do think the Lakers would be good. Um, what else? Like Philly doesn't need guards. Spurs don't really need guards. Um, Dallas wouldn't be the worst, because him and D'Lo can have a lot of those point guard minutes while Kyrie's not there. But once Kyrie comes back, what do uh, maybe you trade one of them at the deadline between D'Lo and Westbrook. Who knows? But the more I think about that, I'm not really a big fan. So I don't know. It's hard for some of these guys. Ben Simmons, I mean, honestly, probably I would assume the Clippers are really his only market, who he was with. Unless he is really like not taking any money, which he probably shouldn't get a lot of money anyways. If he's not taking a lot of money, I mean, he could go pretty much realistically anywhere. And I'm saying a lot of the same teams, but team like San Antonio wouldn't be horrible, I don't think. But they don't have a lot of shooting, I guess, between like Castle, Harper, Fox, Sohan, so never mind. But I mean, I don't think the Clippers would be the worst thing in the world if he went back. Quentin Grimes, Cam Thomas, I expect them both to return to their respective teams of the Sixers and the Nets. Grimes, I think it's like 100% lock he goes back. Um, Unless some team just offers him ridiculous money that the Sixers don't want to match because they probably can't. Cam Thomas, I think it's more likely he will end up back in Brooklyn now, as if like he went in the first day of free agency. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just not a lot of teams that can do much, and a lot of teams have filled out their roster, only have one spot remaining, and it's for like a minimum or like a mid. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just not a lot of opportunity. What else? Jonathan Kaminga, man. I've spoken about this so many times. I'm not gonna go in depth again. I talked about it deeply on my free agency reaction of the first day. Go watch that live stream, but just don't go to Golden State. Go to Miami so you can, do something. Go to um I don't know who could offer money. A place that kind of like if they had money and they had more defensively, I would say like honestly, Lakers need another forward, an athletic forward, defend a little bit, not the greatest, but can defend. Um, I don't know. It's hard to predict spots for these restricted guys because they're restricted. I mean, but this is Kuminga's a different kind of restricted because he's been mistreated throughout his whole Warriors time. He should go, but I really hope at the worst it's a sign and trade. But they need to just let him go. I don't want to see him back on that team. And then there's a couple centers like Mo Wagner. I would assume go back to the Magic, even though they declined him. The Wagner brothers are over there. He's gonna be back. I don't think he'll be back at the start of the season, but I don't remember. But he's one of the better backup centers in the league. I wasn't always a big fan of him, but he can do a lot of things. He for as a center, he's more one of the more skilled backup centers. So DeAndre Ayton obviously went to the Lakers. I had a video about that yesterday. Go watch that if you didn't see it. And then the last one we're going to talk about is Al Horford. I saw a thing. Maybe it was Chris Haynes. I don't know. But the thing that I saw was Horford's three destinations are retirement, Warriors, Lakers. Two of those options hurt as a Celtic fan. The Lakers and the Warriors hurt. Obviously, the Lakers. Warriors, I don't like to do this. I do grade all teams fairly, and I don't like normally saying things like this because I don't want to seem unfair to some teams. But the Warriors are one of my most least liked teams in the league. But that probably isn't too hard to gauge after all I've talked to. I'm not a big Steve Kerr fan. I'm not a fan of how they do things with Kaminga and Trace Jackson. Um, just how things are done over there. I'm just not a fan. So I really don't want to see. I'd rather see him in LA, honestly, than Golden State because I just don't want to see him there. I don't want to see him in either. But the fact that the Celtics isn't even a consideration is kind of like not crazy because I understand it, but like I'm surprised it's not even like a consideration. If that is true, of course. The retirement. I mean, yeah, I think this would be Horford's last year. I'd assume. Maybe if he did stay with the Celtics, he would stay around till the season where Tatum comes back. But I don't know. And then actually the last free agent we're gonna do because it just popped into my mind that this guy's a free agent. Damian Lillard. Now, before I get into this, because I haven't given this too much thought, obviously there's been reports, but let me know where you think what Damian Lillard and his team might do. Is he just sitting out a year, going to rehab back in Portland, or is he going to try and get on a contract with a contender for a little bit amount of money, something that we have never seen before, because he is also going to be getting paid from Milwaukee for the next 5 years. So is he going to say, hey, I don't need the money, get me on a mid-level, something like that? I doubt it because we've never seen it before. But hey, we've never seen a guy like that get waived in general. So let me know what you think Damian Lillard's going to do. I have seen the Celtics and the Warriors have come up quite a lot when talking about this. I don't. I mean, when healthy, the backcourt of Curry and Lillard offensively sounds like one of the worst things to ever game plan against. Two of the five greatest shooters of all time. Um, the movement, and it's not just yeah, okay, the catch and shoot, like no, elite off ball, elite long range, like past the three, spot up three, dribbling, through like anything. Um, but defensively, obviously, that's horrible, and the Warriors' defense is not anything to be proud of right now, anyways. But the Celtics, I mean, like, right, it makes sense because like Dame and Tatum out, let them both rehab for this year, and then when they come back, you have a lineup of Dame, Derek White, Jalen Brown, Tatum, and whoever the hell the center is. Sounds elite, but who knows what Dame's going to want to do. I think I saw people in his team were saying, "Hey, go back to Portland. Relax." I don't even know if Portland would really open the door. I don't really know if Portland would welcome him back. I assume they would, but I don't know. It's a hard situation for Dame. And I saw he was happy that he got waived, I guess, because Portland wouldn't let him, or not Portland, Milwaukee wouldn't let him go back to Portland during the season to rehab and be with his family. So he's happy. And I guess that's what matters. If he's happy with it, if he's fine, But what's crazy is he found out on social media, bro. They don't tell these players nothing, and it is insane that they don't tell them anything. I just don't. I can't understand how teams do that. Like, especially, I mean, you shouldn't do it to anyone, but like, I can understand, the bottom half of your rotate, like the 11th man, if they're like, oh yeah, they got thrown in and whatever. But Damian Lillard, bro, a perennial like a guy who is all-star, all NBA, had a very good bounce back season for you last year, and I don't know. That's just crazy. I really don't know. I would be surprised if he just took the year off and literally didn't have a job. But the Kings I also saw I want him too, which makes sense, but like I don't even know. There's no way in hell they can afford him between Sabonis, Levine, and DeRozan's contract. And then they just paid Dennis Schroeder. They're gonna have to pay, if they haven't already, Keegan Murray, I'd assume. Um, and I don't whoever else is over there, but I don't know. You really need to let me know where you think Dame is going, or what he's doing. His situation as a whole is just kind of crazy. So let me know what you think he's going to do for sure. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment as well. Share this with people. And yeah, thank you for watching.